permission from General Motors. You can't film here.
I'm just going up to see the chairman.
No, sir.
Filmmaker Michael Moore's newest documentary, Capitalism, a love story, premieres nationwide this weekend, and the movie trailers have been everywhere.
This fall, the most feared filmmaker in America.
Can I talk to you, sir, for a second? Can you tell me what a credit default swap is? Can you explain a derivative to me?
Will reveal what happens when Wall Street tanks.
Stock markets crash.
Bankruptcies.
Foreclosures.
A global meltdown.
And the government bails.
As MoneyWatch.com editors, we thought we'd better go check out the film ourselves to see if Moore really got the story right. What do you think, Jill?
Well, I think that Michael Moore is a great storyteller. He is not a documentary filmmaker because, of course, there's only one side of the story. I found it to be pretty entertaining, but we have left out a ton of the other side in the telling of this story.
Well, it was propaganda.
Right.
It wasn't really meant to be a real examination of whether capitalism was dead, but there were some affecting moments, right?
Yeah, although I was disappointed it was not a love story. It was really more of a horror story, I thought, actually. But the thing that bothered me, I felt he could have actually used one of us. He needed an editor. There were too many stories in this movie, and you didn't really know the full story. And so I wondered whether the victims who seemed blameless really were blameless. I'm sure there's lots of blame to go around.
Yeah, I agree with Rich. I think where Michael Moore's films are really great is when where he interviews regular Americans talking about putting sort of the human face on a lot of these financial stories, but he obscures that a lot of the times with oversimplifications or conspiracy theories or just facile thinking that I think detracts from the overall effectiveness of his arguments.
Conspiracy theories?
They are rampant. I mean, I think the fundamental flaw in this movie is that he attacks capitalism and pokes some valid holes, but he doesn't have a solution.
But I would like to give him credit just for taking on the subject, because money, personal finance, the economy is a very hard topic to make interesting visually, and you don't see a lot on television about it. And so I think, it was a hard subject for him to do. I don't know that he did it all that well. I think there are moments that really worked and some that didn't, but I think it's good that people are now going to see a movie about this because it's going to educate people a little bit.
Well, one problem I have is that I think there's a lot of venality, or there's a lot of conspiracy theories in this country propagated by the far right and the far left. Obama is planning to make us all socialists. On Michael Moore's part, he suggests this scam that you referred to. The bank wasn't scamming to take someone's house. Greedy people were selling terrible products and taking advantage of less sophisticated people. It's happened as long as history has been around, and it was terrible. But the solution is not to make everybody think that there's a conspiracy. The solution is to educate people and probably to have a few regulations to make it not possible to do what that bank did.
Moore devotes a lot of time in the film to the housing crisis. Let's take a look at this clip.
The scam to swindle people out of the homes they already owned was masterful. Here's how it worked. First, tell these homeowners that they own a bank, and that bank is your home. So if your home is worth $250,000, that makes you a $250,000. You're sitting on a gold mine. You own your own bank, the bank of you. And you can use your bank to get more money. Just refinance. Everyone's doing it. Of course, hidden in the dozens or hundreds of pages of fine print are tricky clauses that allow the bank to raise your interest rate to a number you didn't know about, perhaps so high that you won't be able to repay your loan. But that's okay. If you can't repay it, we'll just take your house.
The bank of me? Really, Rich?
I don't really buy that. And yes, a lot of people own homes, and maybe some of them have been told that they could refinance, and for some people it was a good idea, but not everybody did it, and not everybody did it badly, and not every bank, should be considered a villain for offering refinance loans.
No, home equity loans are useful.
Exactly.
Most of the time, if you don't abuse them.
But again, we didn't see the personal responsibility part. So it was the bank is trying to do this to you, whereas we all know that there were plenty of people who were extracting money from their homes to do other things. And that may have been to buy another piece of real estate. It may have been to send your kids to school, and maybe they didn't really understand the loans, but it was too one-sided for me. It was this. There were people who used their homes like ATMs. It wasn't everybody, and those people are paying a terrible price right now, and I get that. But there's no point in the movie where we say, here's what got them into this place.
Let's listen to what Moore had to say at the New York premiere of the film.
This is a movie about everybody right now, what we're going through, what we're faced with. So I think this is a movie for all kinds of people, regardless of their political viewpoints.
So what do you think? Is the film really for everybody?
Well, it's for anybody who wants to go and get a certain sliver of a viewpoint about how the crisis unfolded. And it's a particular viewpoint. It is not, he's right that in that, of course, that there's a left and a right and there are a few bashing on both sides, but it's his particular and very narrow view. It is not it's not watching a huge MoneyWatch special on the financial crisis that takes into account everything that happens, it digests it and spits it out to you in a balanced way.
I've been surprised at reporters for the Wall Street Journal who said they've enjoyed this film. I would think if you were a Wall Street Journal reporter, especially since one Wall Street Journal reporter got a little skewered in the film, that you'd find it kind of uncomfortable.
Well, I think there's a difference between enjoyable and smart or useful. I think at times, as Nelson said, his key skill is pulling on your heartstrings, and he tells some good stories. They're not always told in a balanced way, but they're certainly compelling.
And he's funny. He is a funny guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the wrapping the police tape around Goldman Sachs, all of his interactions with security cards are great.
We're here to get the money back for the American people.
I understand, sir, but you can't come in here.
Can you just take the bag, take it up there,
Absolutely not.
fill it up? I got more bags. 10 billion probably won't fit in here. We want our money back.
All right. Final judgment. Let's give the movie a thumbs up or thumbs down, one by one. Jill, you start.
Okay, entertainment, thumbs up. Real content, thumbs down. I'm going for the middle.
I give it a thumbs up. Yeah, no movie's perfect, but this was fun, entertaining, and I thought he did a pretty good job.
Entertainment value, thumbs up. Accuracy of the material, thumbs down. So, sideways.
I'm a sideways guy too. It had its great moments, but I think it was truly misleading in some ways, and I can't give it a thumbs up for that reason.
All right. Well, as an editor, I have to give it a thumbs down. Accuracy counts for me, and there are better ways to spend 3 hours on a weekend night.